Friends, welcome to fUNfiltered Marketing Talk for Authors. I'm Carol Tetzloff.
And I'm Sara Cormany. And around here, we like to keep marketing fun, real, practical. And did I say fun? We are fun. The two of us, well, actually, it's usually three of us, but we're missing our lovely Shelley Brown today. But today, the two of us are going to pull back the curtain and give you honest, actionable strategies for your book marketing journey.
And we keep it real. We'll laugh, we'll share what works and sometimes what doesn't, and we'll always leave you with something you can do right away.
So if you feel stuck or overwhelmed just trying to market your book, you are in the right place.
So Sara, have you ever felt overwhelmed marketing your book?
I feel overwhelmed every day doing everything. So yes, and yes.
For sure. That's a good answer. I completely concur. So today we got 4 super practical marketing moves that you can literally start this week. They are simple. They are relational because we all know marketing is about relationship. And best of all, they don't make you feel like a pushy salesperson because nobody likes that. We don't want to be the used car salesman.
Absolutely not. Okay, so let's dive in with, well, I don't know that I'm supposed to say tip number 1.
I have it right here. Look at that.
Oh, well, here we go. Tip number 1, turn your book into a weekly tip series. Honestly, we hear from authors all the time that are like, I don't know what to post this week. And when we go back to that overwhelm where life is just overwhelming, it can be really easy to sit in front of a blank screen and think, actually, I have laundry to do or a dentist appointment to go to. We want to do anything other than stare at a screen and try to come up with content.
Yeah. So yeah, that dreaded blank screen moment is horrific for us. So meanwhile, your book is just sitting out there in cyberspace on some .com site saying, hello, you already wrote me and I'm full of content. Use me. So your book is already packed with wisdom. It's packed with takeaways, with stories, and the stories are things that people need. So why not repurpose those items into a weekly tip series?
It's really just super simple. Skim through your chapters and pull like 10 one-liners or maybe even short lessons. The key is don't overthink it. Just ask yourself, what's one sentence from this section that would help somebody today? And suddenly you've got 10 weeks of content lined up.
And Sara, don't you think that when we're writing our books, oftentimes like we want to put all the things in it, but we can't put all the things in it. And so as you pull out that one statement or sentence, or that quote or that idea that you had, you can actually expound upon it. So you can use the content, but then even give them the things that you really wanted to. But let's be honest, consistency is half the battle. Within our marketing, if our followers know that every Wednesday we're dropping a wisdom tip from whatever your book is, they're going to start looking for it.
Absolutely. So you've got to make sure that you keep on showing up in the middle of it. And I was actually talking to the point that Carol made about how we've got more content that we'll probably ever be able to put into our book alone. I was working with a memoir author who has a lot of good Christian living content that she's like, I can't use this for my memoir. And that's exactly what we're talking about here. She already has things that she can encourage her readers to actionably, that's not a word, is it? Actionably.
I think it is. It sounds like it.
Is it a word? Oh. Well, if it's not, I just made it up. So things that her reader can actually do as a result of her telling her story and how God moved in her life. Repurposing that content can become really, really not only easy, but meaningful to your reader or for your buyer as well. And here's the bonus again, you're not repeating yourself. You're reinforcing your message, reintroducing it to people who maybe haven't ever heard it before. Teachers know that repetition is key, and essentially you're teaching your audience, your readers, your followers week by week by week. And what's really great about doing it this way is you're not doing what all of us want to avoid. And that's saying, buy my book, buy my book, buy my book. It's different, useful, and it serves your audience.
Yeah. And here's a pro tip for you with this particular one. Wrap each post in then with a simple line that says something like, this thought comes from my book, with the title, and you can grab your copy here. You're pointing to your book, but it's not salesy, it's gentle. And it's something that is natural, because if they resonated with that tip, they're going to want to maybe read more. And if you want to take up a notch, you could always create a graphic template in Canva, where you can just drop the tip in each week very simply. You can use the same thing. You don't have to be super major creative. And then it looks branded, it's professional without eating up your whole day.
And I have to apologize on this point that apparently my making up words and having fun, it's catching, Carol. It's catching.
It is.
Sorry. I have a... This is where the fUNfiltered comes through. When you tripped over your words, I was like, Carol never does that. It's my fault, because I always do and create new words and say the wrong ones. So don't ever get on a Zoom call or a live with me, because then you will make up your own words as well. All right. Well, moving right along, because I took a really big segue there to tip number 2, give away books strategically. And honestly, we get a lot of people who this scares the pants off, because it's like, well, wait a second. I put all that effort and all that time into crafting my book, and now you just want to give it away? Carol, tell us more about how that can be important.
Yeah, actually, this does not scare me. I would much rather give my book away than have people pay for it. My husband's always like, you cannot give them all away. Like, we actually have to recoup some of our investment. But I know some people really don't want to give them away, because they're like, I've worked so hard on this. I just cannot just give it to everyone who wants a copy. And you don't.
Yeah. And honestly, if you just look at it in a different way, when you put your book in the right hands, it's not a loss, it's an investment. Think of influencers, pastors, podcast hosts, small group leaders, people who naturally already share what they love. Remember, it's broadening your audience, so that when you give that book away to anyone that I just mentioned, you are now in front of their people, with their audience now keying into your message. So your book can literally multiply and reach overnight just by giving books away.
Yeah, I've done that so many times, and maybe you have too, Sarah, with your books. Like, specifically, if you have a way to connect with larger groups. So if a women's ministry director wants a copy of my Bible study, you better believe I'm going to give it to them. In fact, I'm going to give it to them if they don't want it, because I know that they have a ministry of all of these people. So it's like, here, take it. You do the study, and if it resonates with you, think of how it's going to resonate with the women in your group. And that's how I have sold actually quite a few books. So by giving the one away to the strategic. And then don't forget your kind of super fans, which we all hate that word, but it is true. We all know that one friend that cannot stop talking about the last book they read. So hand them a copy and see if they'll read your book and watch the ripple effect, because that one excited reader could lead to 10, 20, even 50 sales. Most books that I buy come because someone said, I loved this book. I don't usually just buy some random book that I've never heard of. And then don't toss the book in the mail like it's junk. Send it with a personal note, something like, I thought of you because of the work you're doing. If this blesses you, I'd love for you to share it with someone else who might need it, because that personal touch is going to make all the difference.
Yeah. And think about this too. Imagine if you slip like a Starbucks gift card into the book, or maybe even like an Amazon gift card into the book, something that says service. Suddenly, it's not just a book, it's a moment of encouragement to the person who receives it.
Yeah. And your note could say, like, here's a a gift card to go get a cup of coffee. Enjoy your cup of coffee while you read, or whatever. Mm-hmm. Here's another piece. Don't stop with just sending it. Follow up with a quick, hey, did you get the book? I'd love to hear your thoughts when you get a chance. And that keeps it relational, not transactional.
And remember this as well. Intentional, heartfelt generosity is marketing gold.
For sure. All right. So we're to tip number 3. All right, let me see if I can do it. We also not only are missing our sweet Shelly, we're also missing our sweet Heather. And so we're trying to navigate all the things by ourselves. So anyways, so tip number 3, don't sell the book, share what the book does. Now, this one makes me want to stop and say, amen. Stop selling the books, friends.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Instead, as Carol just said, share what the book does. What problem does it solve? What wound does it touch? What hope does it give? Make sure you key into that message.
Yeah, because people aren't really asking, like, what's your book about? They're asking, why should I care? So instead of saying, my book is now available on Amazon, you could say, I wrote this book for nights when grief doesn't let you breathe, and the morning when you're ready to believe, and the mornings when you're ready to believe again.
And honestly, even in my own life, that speaks to such a specific pain point. That's where you connect with people who will not only connect with your message, but also champion it as well. It's also honestly in the world of like scrolling and, too much noise coming at us through the screen, it actually catches people's attention so that they'll click and invest or even investigate and hopefully eventually buy your book as well.
Yeah, it's basically storytelling 101. You're not pitching the product, you're inviting someone into a transformational experience.
Yeah. And we just connect better with stories. I think that's one of the reasons Jesus told stories, is to show the power of connection when we tell them and we tell them well. Let's also not forget that when you focus on outcomes instead of features, you're aligning with how people make decisions. We want to know, kind of like we've just talked about, what's in it for me, and not necessarily in a selfish way, but in a way that I only have so much time in my life. And so I want messages that are going to move the needle in places of pain for my own life. We don't buy books for the number of chapters. We buy books for the hope that it will change something in our lives.
Yeah. And I love the fact, Sarah, that you brought up about that Jesus told stories. And it just like immediately my brain just started like ding, 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 ding. Because the story of the Good Samaritan, it's something that is so familiar. But when we place that story in context and we recognize, why did Jesus tell the story? What is the pain point he was trying to hit? And basically the Pharisees are trying to trip him up, and they ask him, what is the greatest commandment? And he says to love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. And the Pharisee comes back and says to the religious ruler, who's my neighbor? Like all snarky. That'd be a question I'd probably ask. Who's my neighbor? And then Jesus goes in to tell the story. And so he's hitting. And so I'm sure like those that were around kind of leaned in, like, what is he going to say? And that's what your strategic questions or statements will do. They will spark interest that will bring someone to buy your book. And so that's my challenge this week, is to rewrite one of your buy my book posts into a here's what my book does for you post, and watch the engagement shift.
Yeah. All right, we are now ready for tip number 4. Create a QR code that does the talking for you. Okay, so we're going to lighten it up a little bit. This one is so easy, it almost feels a little bit like we're cheating.
Yeah, QR codes. They're like the little silent marketing assistants.
So true. They work 24/7, and we're also tired. We need little helpers like that. So just create a QR code that links directly to your Amazon page or your website, and put it literally on everything and anything you can think of, whether it's bookmarks or business cards or flyers, or even on the back of your car. Although I do have to kind of laugh a little bit at what that actually might look like for someone. You're sitting at a red light and the person behind you is like scanning the back of your window. I'm not really sure how that would work. Carol, do you have any ideas?
I don't really know. What I do know is make sure you know where the best place is for QR codes, because QR codes, you don't want to put them on Facebook. Why? Because people are already on a device. They need a link. So make sure you know the proper usage of QR codes. QR codes are used where people they're not able to actually do the click. So just, try it out, see how it works for you, and that will be some marketing efficiency. But seriously though, QR codes remove all the friction. No typing, no searching, just scan and boom, you're right there.
And because people don't expect it, it sticks. You're memorable, not just another link lost in the feed.
And the best part about it is it costs you nothing but 5 minutes to set it up. And actually, it doesn't even cost 5 minutes. Like, you can do a QR code on Canva in about 10 seconds.
Yeah, really that easy. So you'll have that other 4 minutes to do with whatever you would like to. So get creative, put that QR code in your email signature, on a sticker, in a conference swag bag, back to, I guess, on the back of your window. Think of it like a treasure map straight to your book.
Oh, can't wait to see QR codes pop up all over the place. All right, so let's see. Let's recap really quickly. Here are the things that we talked about today. Number 1, repurpose your book into weekly tips. I guess I could get rid of this one. Okay, I'm gonna do both at the same time. Try it again. Repurpose your book into weekly tips. Gift books strategically to key people. See, I love gift books, so I'm thinking of gift books as a noun, not gift books as a verb. So let's try that again. Gift books strategically to key people. Number 3, share what your book does, not what your book is. And number 4, let the QR codes do the selling for you. 4 simple, doable tips you can start this week.
And the best part, they're relational. They're not salesy.
Yeah, exactly. If you want more step-by-step strategies like this, you can join us at bookmarketingproacademy.com. We have live training, we have coaching, we have the whole community of authors walking this whole marketing thing and writing thing and even speaking thing out together. bookmarketingpro.academy.com. Come and join our community.
Yeah, that always trips me up, or even just saying the name so you're not alone. Plus, I think we should all take a moment and appreciate that Carol was giving us all the tips while also moving along all the tips on the screen. So I say brava. If I had tried to do that, we would all be crying at this point. So reminder too, that we do go live every Friday on YouTube. So hit subscribe and you won't miss an episode, whether you're
why would you want to miss this, right? Why would you want to miss this, Sara?
I mean, I don't know. That is indeed a mystery that maybe we'll solve next week.
Maybe.
But thank you so much for hanging out with us today on fUNfiltered Marketing Talk for Authors. We will see you next time. And we will also say hello to the lovely Kathy Ellinger who joined us live today. So y'all have a wonderful weekend and we will see you next Friday.
Bye for now.